it's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. I finished the paint palette yesterday and I sent over some photos to be reviewed. It's a custom paint palette, so want to make sure that it looks good. I have it chilling over here. It really probably doesn't look that different to anybody. It probably basically looks the same. Since we've been like trimming it on the videos, but here it is. Just gonna wrap it up, and if she has any changes that she'd like made, I can definitely do that. It's still it's not bone dry yet. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking I would really like to have some more, just like, I don't know, maybe some larger snack plates. I don't know if that really sounds like it makes sense. Because I have quite a variety. Where should I put this stupid thing? I have quite a variety of different sizes, so I would say these are like, this one's like a ring dish, this one's like, I don't know, ring dish, jewelry dish, super small, definitely not, I mean, you could put snacks on it, but it's really small. And then I have, all of these have been bisqued and are just like sitting around waiting for me to get to them. So they're not like that big, and they're going to shrink even like a little bit when I put them through the final glaze firing. So they're like, even these ones, which are the largest of what I've just shown, they're all pretty small. So I was kind of thinking maybe not like full-size dinner plate, but a little bit larger would be kind of nice to add to my like selection that I can make over here. Sometimes I just like, I don't know, sometimes I just make things and then wait for the right inspiration to hit to decorate them. So like I have a bunch of stuff here that is ready to be either glazed, underglazed, decorated, really. Whoops. I hope we don't need that. Such a mess over here. So yeah, that's what I thought we would make. Definitely probably not that interesting. I do have some like clay bits on here that I just wanted to take my sponge and kind of push them off of my work surface. This is just like I don't even know like what you call it. But it's just a board, you know, some wood, and it has a canvas stapled to it. Super easy to make. I just like, this was one piece of wood and I just bought it from the hardware store, stapled. Well, I had to get like one of those, you know, like more industrial staplers. But I actually already had one for some reason. And then just staple that on here. And this is a really great work surface. It will absorb a little bit of water from the clay when I'm like wedging on it and stuff. But it's really great. It really doesn't stick to it. Like if I just used the table surface, it would definitely stick to the table, and you don't really want that. But it's like, I don't know, maybe check out the clay that I have over here. I can't remember what clay I have. Okay, it's not too bad. I think we could wedge this out and use it. If it gets like too dry, it's really hard to wedge. And at a certain point, it's just probably not worth it. Probably just worth it to just, I don't know, put it back in the reclaim or something. Let me just kind of like clean this off. That's like real quick, because there's like a ton of clay on it. Okay. All right. I don't know, sometimes I put some water here before I wedge on it. It's particularly good if the clay is a tiny bit drier than I would prefer. But we'll just kind of put some on here. That kind of counteracts a little bit of it like sucking the moisture from the clay. So we're gonna wedge this up. Sorry, I know this isn't too terribly exciting. Do a lot of wedging on here. Okay, I think this is like actually pretty good. I think it's my other clay that I have sitting out that is like a little bit too dry. So we want to make those two balls of clay more homogeneous and just like really mix them up. That's what wedging is great for. We also want to remove any air bubbles that might be in the clay. And this is also compressing the clay particles together, which is very important to prevent cracking later on. Okay, maybe a few more rounds. I haven't seen any bubbles pop in a little bit. Just kind of have to guess at like how many times you have to go around it, depending on how much clay you have. Is that an air bubble? No, I don't think so. Trying to be very careful not to fold any air bubbles into our lump here. And I just want like an even shape. Either like a circle, sphere, or like a cylinder, maybe. Okay, I think that's good. And let me just grab this, get some of the dust off my hands, and I'm just gonna smush it down. We'll use the rolling pin in a second here. I don't know, I feel like this is helpful though. Okay, roll, and let me see. I think I normally use these ones. So you can see here the little, what is that called? I don't know. I call them bumpers. They go up against the side of the rolling pin here. So we have, these are both the same size. So 10 millimeters or 3/8 of an inch. That's how much it's going to lift the rolling pin away from the table. And seriously, this thing is like so nice. Probably a little bit more expensive than a rolling pin without these. But it's really nice. And it came with like a few different sizes. Here's a slightly smaller size at 6 millimeters. I feel like I'm pretty sure I used this gray one for rolling out small plates. I'm pretty sure. Or sometimes if you've watched the channel, I will do, so you can have a rolling pin and then you just go over it and you can see how much it's going to lift it from the table. Another option I use are these paint stir sticks. I think these are really great for a lot of different things. I'll kind of like lay them out like this and then let things dry on top of it. Because since they're wood, it lets, it kind of soaks up a little bit of that moisture. They do get moldy, but I just wash them with like water and vinegar. That gets the mold off them, but it's better than just putting your stuff on like a plastic or metal surface where it's not going to dry, and then I leave a bit of space between them so it gets like some airflow. But for this, I'll just stack a couple, like however many I want on like both sides of the piece. And then this will lift up the rolling pin. And it's really great because the rolling pin only has like certain sizes that it comes in, but these, like you can do a bunch of different things with these. And you want this, like one of these options, so that when you're rolling your slab out, that it's actually flat and it's the same like thickness from like edge to edge, and like the whole thing is the same thickness. So there's my little tip for you guys. I know I mentioned that once in a while in the stream, but if we have any, I don't know, new people watching, who knows? So I'm just gonna roll this out. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go for like, I don't know, maybe I should go for an oval. I don't know. I think it's a little bit too late. We've already like rolled out a bunch of it. And I don't know if it's helpful to kind of just like lift it up here and there. I don't know, we'll just see how much clay we end up with. We might just get one plate out of this. Because I do want like a pretty decent sized one. Okay, so just kind of go over a bunch of times until it stops, you know, moving really. Now what we want to do is we're going to take our rib and we are going to compress the clay. We want to go on both sides of the slab and in different directions. There's no specific amount of times, I don't think, that you need to go over it. I just go over it like, I don't know, a few times in different directions, and I hope that is good. This is going to compress the clay particles, and if you don't do this, you may have some cracking that occurs later on in your piece, and you don't want that. So this is pushing the clay particles closer together to prevent any cracking. It's not something you can visually see, if you know how close the clay particles are or anything. I don't think there's anything noticeable about it, but you just kind of have to like do certain things to make sure that your clay is compressed. This is how you do it for slabs. And then wheel throwing has another way, 2 ways. One way for compressing the bottom of your pot, and then one for compressing the walls. Okay, so I don't know, I think that might be good. So here on this side, it's a little bit easier to see because like we're gonna be like kind of smoothing this over and removing some of those cracks. Like I'm sure you guys can see the cracks. I'll keep it zoomed in a little bit more so you can kind of see. But I definitely do it until they disappear because, I mean, if there are cracks there to begin with, we are definitely gonna have cracks later. So I feel like the fact that they disappear is probably a good sign. Sorry, I know this is I don't know, probably boring. I don't really have any like updates other than the stream will be canceled for the rest of this week, and I'll be back on Monday. Taking some time off, and I have like a really nice long weekend, and I don't have any plans other than hopefully going to the pumpkin patch this weekend. Last weekend, I thought we were gonna go, and then Jason was like, it's not even October. And I'm like, it's basically October. He's like, but it's not. So I don't know. I was like, whatever, okay. Fine. I was like, we can go next weekend when it's officially October. Okay, so let me grab this little plate. I think this one is like, this is just store-bought, but I love how like it has like this look that it's handmade. So sure it's not, but I like it a lot. And it's a really good size for just like snacks. You know, put some veggies on here. I personally like cucumbers with some ranch, carrots with ranch, something like that. Maybe a side dish. I like to eat appetizers as meals, kind of thing. So I don't know what it is, but it depends on like the space that you're working in. I think sometimes people tend to either make things smaller than they realize they are, or they might make things a little bit bigger. It kind of depends on like your studio, like kind of atmosphere, I think. So I think it's really great to have like a physical example, because I don't know, I tend to make things like, either I make things at the size that I want them to be and then they shrink when it's the final size, or I don't know, maybe I just make things too small because I don't realize how big they actually are. So it's really good to have an actual example of what you want to make size-wise. Like, I thought we would actually have like a lot of room, but you can actually see this takes up actually a lot of the slab. Let me fix this little spot. I don't know if we're going to go over here, but let me just kind of fix up that little hole there. Make sure that is like really compressed. And also a note, because like I think you can see how the side of the slab is pretty broken up. It has a lot of cracks on it. You want to try to stay a little bit away from that when you cut out your shape from the slab, because obviously this area is not as compressed. Here we have some like coming outwards. So you don't really want to cut up right up to the edge. You want to have a little margin. So I think, basically I want as much as we can grab, other than like maybe somewhere over here, from this. So actually it's not too bad. Let me grab my fettling knife. Maybe I should draw out like what I want to do first. Here's a knitting needle. I typically use this for just like very light drawings. So let me just kind of get an idea of where I want to go with the shape. I really like irregular shapes, so I'm not trying to get anything perfect. I think if you wanted like a perfectly round shape, you should probably be wheel throwing. Probably. Because like obviously it's like the roundest you could possibly get it. Or you could use some kind of something, maybe like an actual like round store-bought plate. You could kind of like, sorry, there's like crumbs on here. You could like flip it upside down and like push it into the clay just to like kind of get an outline, basically like this, of like where to cut it, kind of like a cookie cutter. Obviously like cookie cutters aren't made that large. For smaller things, definitely use a cookie cutter. Let me see, I'm trying to like I'm trying to like sort of make this round. Man, this thing is like pretty big actually. So what I usually do with these is just cut it out flat like this, and then I'm gonna like lift the edge up a little bit. So we are probably going to lose a little bit of this size from doing that. I'm not too particular about like how big I want it to be. I'm pretty, you know, pretty okay with whatever we end up with for the most part. I just want something like somewhere a little bit closer to that plate that I've been showing. So, whoops, sorry. Okay, so let me just kind of smush this up. Let me take a look here. I don't know, I want it to be like, not perfectly round, but I'm kind of leaning towards something maybe a little bit rounder. Just like at the moment, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Okay, let's see. It's really hard to do this when I don't have like, sometimes it would be nice if I had like one of those like a drafting table. That's one of those tables where you can, it doesn't sit flat, you can have it sit flat, but then you can also like change the angle of it. I feel like that'd be nice, like right now. Okay, all right. I think that's pretty good. What else? I think I typically kind of squish the ends a little bit. We're not going to have it like that thick. So we can kind of maybe counteract some of that shrinking that it's going to do when I push the walls up, if that makes sense. This kind of gives us like even more of a kind of like handmade feel to it, to the edge, now that it's kind of like has that little pinching going on. I really love like the pinch pot look. I mean, typically those are like little like miniature bowls, but this kind of gives you like that little pinch pot look. I don't know, I really love those. Also, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but if you want to watch me do a tutorial of this, like this same thing, but like in 5 minutes, I think it's like 5 minutes. I have a shorter video on my YouTube channel. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that earlier. I also have a pinch pot tutorial as well. I think I only have 3 tutorials on my on my YouTube. That is at calieandco. That's the name of my channel over there. I kind of want to smooth these out, although I'm not sure if I'm going to be trimming any clay off of here. I don't know. Anyway, the third tutorial is, I mentioned yesterday probably, is how to make a paint palette. Particularly, I make watercolor ones. Here's like, I think this is one of them that I was making while I was making that tutorial. I don't know if this exact one is in there, but yeah. And then of course you can change the well size and how deep they are to your own preference for maybe doing acrylic paint or something. I personally really like painting in watercolors, so that's why I made my own. And I don't know, I really don't do acrylics anymore. I used to paint in acrylics. Really has been a while, more like when I was in college. I really, again, don't know if this is necessary. But I don't know. I'm kind of perfectionisty and kind of bothers me, sort of. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of like, this is just how I do it. There are probably a lot of different ways you could like slab build a plate, but kind of like hold it up against my hand, and you can kind of see like about like that much is being raised. It actually would be kind of nice to have one that has like more of a raise to the plate. Some of mine are a bit, they don't go up upwards as much. Kind of see. Okay. I'm just gonna go around it like this. Of course, it is going to droop down. The clay is very moist right now, so it's very prone to just kind of falling back downwards. It's been a hot minute since I made a plate. And if you wanted to do a spoon rest, just, you know, leave a portion of it not raised, of course. I don't know why, but for some reason this kind of reminds me of like baking a pie. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of like pie dough, except it doesn't have any salmonella in it. It's gonna be a nice plate. I'm excited. I should really make some more like larger ones. I really don't have any like normal sized plates. Like if you saw my plates in person, you would be like, those are tiny. They're kind of like, they would be big, I think, generally for like jewelry dishes, but if you were kind of planning on putting food on them, I think they are a bit small for a lot of things food related. So I think you can probably kind of see that it is kind of drooping here and there. Just come back to it once in a while and lift it up. Something that people that really have like more of a production going on, like they're just turning out work, would probably have a slump mold. So a slump mold would be, and this can be for either like plates or bowls. What do I have that kind of maybe? I don't have any slump molds. Let's pretend. So this is my little turtle shell. You can see it's kind of domed. So you'd have like a slump mold, and I think they're typically plaster. So you have your slump mold, and then you have your slab of clay that has just been rolled out. I don't know, probably cut to shape after. I don't know if it's before or after you put it on the mold, but you just put it on the mold, and then you just kind of like smooth it over. And then I think you can let them like dry on top of it, and it'll like it takes on that shape that you put it on. And you can get them at the store, at like local ceramic stores or stores online. They're very like basic. Usually there's no ornamental detail or anything too special going on there. But for some things, I think that could be nice. I really like this kind of uneven, wobbly, pinch potted look to my pieces. So I don't know, I'm not too interested in like slump molds. So I'm just gonna let this chill. And let it dry a little bit. Not quite probably until it's leather hard, but that's typically when you trim. But I just want it to dry enough so that I could flip it over, trim out the foot, and maybe take some of the weight out of it. I think you can see that the sides are pretty thick, so I'm definitely gonna want to do a bit of trimming in that aspect, but that's why I kind of like pinched around it to make it a little bit thinner. The reason you might not roll your slab out super thin is because I do want to trim a foot out on the bottom. So we need clay to remove from the bottom. But if it was too thin, then we'd have to do something else for a foot. I mean, you could definitely like add clay to it if you wanted to like roll out a coil and attach it. You could definitely do that. I really don't like working with coils, but that's just me. And just kind of like my preferences of how I like to work. We've got enough time here to do another one. I'm like, I don't know why. I'm really excited to just like make some nice large plates. I don't know. We really haven't been doing very much hand building on the stream lately. I mean, we just made that paint palette, but otherwise we really haven't been doing too much. I've been did a bunch of underglazing for a while. Okay, so let me just grab some more clay. And we're really just going to do the same thing here. Nothing too different. I think I kind of like to try to make the plates the same size. It looks nice if I decorated them either the same or complementary, kind of, whatever, glazes or something. If, someone wanted to buy a set of 2 or something, it's nice if they're the same size. Let me grab this. Let me see. Oh gosh, we have some really dry chunks on here. So I'm just going to take those off. Okay, and I'm just gonna like sort of squish it into the height that we want. Why are these different colors? Oh gosh, that is really dry over here. I'm just kind of... I really need to do some reclaim. I have a whole bucket of like bone dry clay that needs to be like reclaimed. Or I think the better thing to do is probably do some wheel throwing. 'Cause I go through like a lot of that, and it's pretty easy to do some reclaim for that because the clay is already like nice and wet. Okay, let's see. I'm just kind of guessing as to how much we need. Probably something that takes up this very dark circle on my board. By the way, some people may wonder if your clay is okay to use, if it gets moldy. General answer is yes, unless you're allergic to mold. That should be the only problem, I'm pretty sure. Because any mold, I don't know, there's like weird brown spots on here. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of assume that's mold. But any of that is going to burn off in the kiln. So you really don't have anything to worry about there. I think maybe This will be enough. I'm just trying to get like the harder bits off of here. Okay, I think that's probably enough clay. Because my clay sits around for like quite a while. I'm not like always making new things. The only concerning part is if your clay sits too long and then it just hardens completely. I would try to avoid that from happening. Although I have a bag that is like, definitely been sitting around probably a little bit too long. But I try to like squirt it with some water. Obviously, you could just put it back in your reclaim, but a massive solid block of clay is probably a little hard to deal with, just in that regard. Okay, this might be... How much more is this than what we rolled out? I feel like it's probably a lot more. We'll just go for it. We'll just do all of it, I guess. I definitely don't want to have like not enough, but this definitely seems like probably, yeah, definitely a lot more than what I had earlier. Okay. So we're going to wedge this up. Let me just kind of move that. Okay, I think we might almost be done here. This makes me really tired. I might try to, let's see how much of an oval we can do when we roll it out. I definitely want it to be like wide enough though. Shit, we need to be careful not to hit our other one. Let me move some stuff around. Gosh, okay. It's probably better. I think we need it to be a little bit wider, maybe. Definitely not an oval, but I think it's fine. This is what happens when I like try to make things like in a specific shape. Okay. I think that is as flat as it's going to get. So, all right. So I don't want to forget to compress it. Then I think we'll just have like a small amount of time to cut it out before I have to go. I don't know if I'm going to use this part over here. You know, I saw a really great idea online. I wouldn't say, I don't know, I don't think it's that hard to like wheel throw plates, but I thought it was like pretty cool, like a pretty cool option. And I don't know, maybe it just takes longer than like wheel throwing. But I thought it was pretty interesting. So this person shared a video. So you like roll out your slab and you just have like, you know, this giant slab, and then you cut it out into, you know, whatever size circle, and then probably put it on a bat, I think. I don't know. But they like put it on their wheel, and then they just like use the wheel to make it really, you know, a nice round plate. and then they just like kind of, you know, wheel throw the sides up, and then like it was pretty cool. Never really thought about just like putting a slab down on the wheel like that, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me see. I have a lot. I use this to eat some bread, so I don't know. I don't know like how dirty it is. Okay, I think I'll just put this on here and just grab my little thing. Let me see. This is probably a little bit too small for anything. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do really like tiny things. So that's a maybe. Just kind of like roughly go around here. I have no idea how this size compares to our other one. Because the walls are lifted on the other one, so I'm like, kind of hard to tell if it is anywhere near the same size. I think we could maybe cut out like a little tiny dish from over here. We can like pinch the sides out and make it a little bit larger, maybe. I think we could do that. Okay. Fiddling knife. I know we're like pretty short on time here. I don't want to grab that much of the edge. Oops. Okay. And just squish this together. And then we can hopefully reuse this for something else if it doesn't completely dry out. Yeah, I think we could like really pinch out the sides of this and maybe have like a cute little, very tiny ring dish. So I have so many tiny things that just like remnants of other things that I was making. There's like a cut on my hand or something, and it is like creating grooves as I'm trying to smooth over it. Okay. So these walls are pretty thin, but I'm keeping a bit of that thickness in the middle here for a foot. So I don't want to like pinch that out. Sorry, I'm not sure like where you guys can see. And I think I'll just, so I think I'll leave these out, sitting right side up. I don't know how long. Maybe I'm going to have to check on them, but maybe an hour or two. Just kind of leave them out like this until they dry a bit. Let me see. I'm having a hard time with this one to like try and keep the walls up. Okay, I think that is like pretty good. Let me just kind of like look at the shape of this one. Okay, the shape's not like bad. Okay. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I feel like it's Friday because I'm just like, I know I have like tomorrow off. So I'm like, it's the weekend. But it's not really the weekend. It is just sort of that for me. I don't know what we're gonna do. Hopefully I'm very productive and I don't know, maybe clean the house some more or something. Definitely playing some video games. I told you guys we're playing Tale. I really like it. It's like, I don't know what that's called. Like, it's not fully released. They're still like, I don't know, working on it or something. But I really like it. So you're like managing a tavern and people come in and like tons of people will come in at the same time. And you have to like make them food and serve it to them. And all of that. We're kind of getting to a point where like we have like way too much money and I'm kind of like, what are we supposed to do with all of this money? like there isn't really anything to buy. I mean, instead of like cooking certain things, we could just go and buy it, I guess, like if we really wanted to. That's kind of like, I don't know, it's sort of defeating the purpose of some of it, I think. So I guess I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't like it when a game kind of loses its purpose for me, because I'm like, what's the point? Why are we making all this money if we don't have anything to do with it? Like, we have a huge tavern that we can't even like use the whole thing either, because it's like, it's too big. But like, I don't know, you can't hire staff or anything to help you. So that's kind of out of the question, I guess. Unless you have to like level up or something for that. I don't know. But generally I really like it. We've been playing that together. You can have like up to like 4 people play it with you, which is pretty cool. I haven't played my Hogwarts Legacy in a while. I didn't finish it yet, so that's definitely something I could play. Or I was playing Zoo Tycoon. Love that. Yeah, I think this is good to just sit out and dry for a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna take back what I said earlier, like half hour ago, and I'm going to let these sit and dry like an hour or two until the walls are pretty dry and they can hold their own. At which point I'll flip them upside down until they're leather hard and I can trim them. And I think when I flip them upside down, I'll probably put them under some plastic, like fully wrap them up in some plastic so they don't completely dry out. But yeah, I think that's the plan here. So yeah, let me just nice plate. This one looks like it has bullet holes in it. Just trying to push some clay around to fix that. So that is our stream for today. Thank you so much for watching. All the videos are, oh wait, sorry, I get the wrong part of my spiel. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along. Again, all the videos are uploaded to YouTube at calieandco. There you can find a whole live stream playlist. We have over 220 videos, so there is a ton to check out. I have a few ceramic tutorials on there too, like I mentioned before, and I have some other videos that touch on small handmade business topics and general artist topics. So be sure to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. All of those things are really great for my channel. And oh yeah, be sure to check me out on Instagram at calieandco, all spelled the same on all platforms. And yeah, so I'll be out for the rest of the week, but I'll be back here on Monday. So I will see you guys later. Oh, I'm probably going to finish up all of these over the weekend. So we're probably going to be starting with something different on Monday. Don't know what. We might go back to underglazing. I don't know yet. Whatever just feels right. So I'll see you guys later and have a great day. All right. Bye.